Thank you so much, Hussein. Hussein got me to come here from Los Angeles because he promised me that I would have an incredible week in your beautiful city and meet some very generous people, kind people, and get the opportunity to sing some truly terrible karaoke. And so far today, I've had the opportunity this week to already spend time in your expo and in Old Dubai, and I've really started to love your town. It's the second time I've been to Dubai, and I've also met incredibly generous people. So he's already fulfilled his promises, and for those of you that would like to sing karaoke with us later tonight, you have the opportunity to do so. I'm here to tell you more about how we think about augmented reality. And the ways that we talk about AR are not in the context of the future. We talk about augmented reality in the present because it is already here. And what is so special about AR in the context of the Snap community is this is ingrained in the behavior in terms of how they behave, how they are using our platform day in and day out. And when we talk about AR, the vision, the possibilities of what it could be start with where we are today. Everything you see here is grounded in our computing technology. This is AR, everything that you're seeing, but it doesn't have to be complex. AR can be a moment, a mother and a daughter, and how they're interacting, how they're playing with the camera. It can be when you're thinking about how I can bring Jurassic Park to my everyday. This is AR. When you're thinking about in the world around you, how you can overlay computing, not in the context of a metaverse that is something that is foreign and dystopian and living outside of your natural everyday elements, but actually bringing in the power and the possibilities of AR to your everyday in any environment that you are. And the reality is within Snap, for us, what we see is that the way people communicate is different. It's grounded in AR as a way of sharing experiences, a way of sharing messages. The camera itself is the way that people are communicating. They're using this as a way to augment their experiences in a way that doesn't feel like they're being performative, but instead that they're adding value to their experiences day in and day out. For us, we talked here about Hussein, the region and the power and the way that 85% of people in MENA are using AR every day on the Snapchat platform. Well, globally, we have over 200 million Snapchatters engaging with AR every day. It's the world's largest AR platform. And the ways that we're using it went from what was the silly, what was the novel, something that was about putting dog ears on someone's head, to now becoming something that is incredibly performant and incredibly powerful in terms of what it can accomplish today and where it's going and how it can affect businesses, how it can affect culture, how it can affect art. So as we think about our vision, where we're going from here, we think about it in this context of entertainment and utility. So in the context of entertainment, how people are communicating, how they're sharing fun experiences, that's been the bread and butter of what Snapchat has done in the world of AR for over 6 years now. Utility, though, is where we see so much potential. We are thinking about AR and how it can actually overlay the world around you and add meaningful value. So this is utility in the context of being able to recognize labels, being able to recognize products, understand in real-time pricing, understand what type of plant you're seeing, being able to identify everything in the world around you, today on your Snapchat phone, tomorrow on wearables. In the context of businesses themselves, we've been really intentional about how do we apply this utility, the power of the camera, in a way that actually would be meaningful to our community. And I think that's the biggest thing I'd say when we're developing these new formats, when we're developing this innovation. It's not through the lens of what is good for Snapchat, it's through the lens of what is good for our community and what will be additive to their experience, so it doesn't feel necessarily like an ad. It feels like content that is extremely relevant to them in any given use case. So when I'm here in Dubai and I'm looking for a new pair of Gucci sneakers because I don't have to pay the VAX, whereas in California I'm paying a 15% tax, I can go on Snap and try on those Gucci sneakers directly and then purchase them through the Snapchat application. We can reinvent the window display around holidays for Ralph Lauren around the world. We can think through, when I'm getting a new timepiece, how that looks and be able to show it with accurate sizing technology from Piaget. We're able to bring to life through Farfetch, through voice command, different clothes, different trials, and actually making sure that we're making really accurate sizing recommendations. And this should hopefully give you some sense of our vision. This isn't just about an advertising format that will drive great return on ad spend for our clients. It's about helping clients transform their businesses, rethinking the way they do trials, and rethinking the way they do focus group testing to determine what the next style they put out there is, to see what resonates with the Snapchat community. Rethinking the way they actually are mapping fit and sizing technology so they can increase conversion rates and reduce return rates. We think about AR a lot in the context of retail and beauty around sustainability, reinventing the supply chain, reinventing the customer experience. And we're already seeing promising dividends from this type of work. We're seeing brands like Zenly Optical here that are not just seeing top of the funnel returns, but because of this experience, because of the fact that they're able to actually try something and understand what that use case is, our Snapchat community is more likely to purchase. Recently in January, we introduced new shopping lenses that feed in real-time pricing, that feed in real-time product details. And we're seeing great benefits from that approach. We had a brand in the States, Ulta Beauty, that saw $6 million in incremental sales, 30 million product try-ons in just 2 weeks on Snap. So for us, as we think about this through the business mindset, it's through this lens of what is meaningful to our community. Vishal, my friend, and I had the opportunity yesterday to sit down with some of the chief creative officers from around your great region and have real honest conversation about the present and future of the creative industry. And one thing that struck a chord with me was thinking about how our community behaves, how the younger generation, Gen Z and millennials behave, and how different it is from how we still market to them. And what really stood out to me from one of the leaders, what they said, was we have to start to bring in that type of mentality, the way that consumers behave today, into our creative leadership teams, into our marketing teams. And that's my encouragement to you. And not just the context of business. When I have the opportunity to work with someone like Cyril, getting to see artists and what they're able to accomplish with AR, it's really amazing to see the power of this canvas brought to life when you have visionaries in their fields applying it in a new context. So that brings us to our big vision. For us, when we think about the big vision, this isn't about what AR is today. It's about how AR will be the new operating platform for the world around us. You have seen our Snap spectacles that we have out there, and you can imagine now the worlds of 3 different platforms. The Snapchat app within your device, the Lens Studio technology that our creators all over the world are using to create these experiences, and then our hardware products that are enabling you to bring these to life using today your sunglasses and tomorrow beyond. That is where we're going in the context of business, in the context of community, of communication, of art and culture, is bringing these 3 powerful platforms to life in a way that will naturally feed off user experience, user behavior, but always beginning with the community first, doing it in a way that is additive to their experience versus taking them away from their experience. So let's bring us today to the context of the world of art. This is, to me, where I get super excited. Adjacent to what we're doing for businesses is how do we apply art and AR in a way that can transform an artist's vision. And that's what I get really excited as a member of the creative strategy team, is being a person that can meet with the talented artists like Cyril and say, we have a new format, a new canvas that doesn't have to recreate your vision exactly, but can build upon that, that can morph it in a new way. So before we get Cyril on stage, I want to share with you our strategy, how we've started to think about the ways that AR will enhance the artist's experience. This is so cool. My name is Jeff Miller, and I am the Senior Director of Creative Strategy at Snap Inc. And action. As we think about the many ways that augmented reality can propel forward the world of art, we have to start with the collaboration that we developed with LACMA. That was a focus on how do we make monuments more reflective of diverse stories and not wait for physical monuments to be built. In that collaboration, we worked with a diverse group of artists and lens creators to bring these physical stories into life in the real world.
Take our work with Alex Israel. We had an opportunity to sit down with him in his studio to understand how he wanted to translate his physical forms into this new augmented reality space. For our Basel this year, we created 2 new experiences with Alex directly. The first one has one of his signature characters, the avocado, dancing alongside you and your friends. The last one, you see Alex himself originate from within inside his installation and then paint the outline of his own head. These types of experiences are only possible because of AR. I am so proud of our collaborations with artists to date, those that are established as well as those that are still young in their careers. So much of the great work that originates starts when you have an artist with a clear vision operating in new formats. But what has me most excited are the stories that we don't even know about yet. The artists that are still trying to find their voice. AR is such a great medium, democratized to help them frame their stories. I can't wait to see what the community develops next. Peace out.